Brave Star.
Maybe it was a Mangalore.
It's Castle Grayskull.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of That New Toy Smell. I'm Pixel Dan.
And I'm not Devall.
No, you're not.
He's still not on the show.
He still isn't here.
He's got a second job. He's got to dump that job, get back on the show.
He does, man. We even had somebody asking for him this week on the comments.
It's getting pretty sad out there. He's crying. I know he's crying right now.
Probably.
Because, well, not because we're filming, but he just cries a lot. But the fact that he's not on the show really makes him sad. So we're hoping to get him back. But
hopefully soon. The good news is we actually have a video review segment from Devall today.
He still does work. He's still able to shoot and edit video. Just when it comes time to film these segments,
he can't appear on the set. He can't make it to the set.
We need to do these like 2 a.m. or something.
Something when he's actually got some time away from jobs and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that stupid killing guy makes him work all day.
All the time.
Just
what a jerk. So anyway, yeah,
this show's off to a great start. This is actually take 2, and you don't want to see take 1. Trust me. So. What are we doing today?
Well, we've got a video review coming up later in the show all about Zen the Intergalactic Ninja.
Oh, I thought these were the Toxic Crusaders.
They very similar, but we'll get into that more later.
Oh, okay.
First, we're going to start things off with this week's toy news, which I wanted to talk about NECA. They've actually released...
The wafers?
No, not NECAs.
Oh.
NECA.
Talking to a fat
as
guy
in the toy company. I can't remember what it stands for, but that actually stands for something. NECA.
The Northern Entertainment Collectibles Association.
I think you're probably very close.
Wait, we got something from NECA right here, I'm sure. This is NECA. NECAonline.com. That's what it stands for, apparently. So
speaking of NECA, they actually announced quite a bit of their plans for the upcoming year here. A lot of their different releases, and as you know, I'm a big fan of NECA stuff.
Really?
I've been collecting NECA stuff for a while. I've done several videos on their video game toys.
You just like it because this chick's top pops off.
I love the Castlevania succubus because she's hot. No, but
it's She-Ra all over again.
She-Ra,
this is what I have to deal with, folks. This is why I'm not here much either. So,
yeah, people were asking.
It's getting late. I gotta go. I've got a thing over.
No, you're not going anywhere.
Fine.
Bub.
All right. So NECA announced some plans.
NECA announced some plans. One of the things that they showed off, which if you were lucky enough, you got to see it. They posted images of their brand new 7-inch Freddy Krueger figure that is from the new Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Actually, there were 2 figures that they showed pictures of.
I think so.
And one of them was kind of like a kitty deformed animated.
Oh, that's
thing.
right. That's right.
And they pulled that one too.
Yeah. So that's the problem. They was up for a couple days and they got pulled. They're not online anymore.
Probably the studio decided they didn't want to reveal the character to everybody until the movie actually comes out, which is a good plan for the studio. Kind of sucks when the toy company already puts the pictures out.
That's right. So that was kind of our first look at the new Freddy Krueger. I mean, we hadn't really seen any images from the movie or anything.
There's just a small clip in the trailer where he's talking, and you just mostly silhouette.
Yeah, you don't get a good look at him. So this was like the first good look anybody got.
You got a good look at his melting pie face.
Yeah.
That's not the burned skin look.
Exactly. I'm just not sure how I feel about it. But again, maybe it's just the toy. We haven't seen the actual movie version.
It might work. You never know.
You never know.
That might also be something along the same lines of Deadpool in the Wolverine movie, where you saw that Deadpool and you're like, this is not Deadpool. This has nothing to do with Deadpool. And then they end the movie with like, okay, now he can become Deadpool.
Yeah,
this kind of in-between state. So this being a relaunch of the origin, he might look a little different through most of it.
Maybe at the beginning, and then you never know. You never know what they're gonna do. I'm definitely curious about the movie, so I'll check it out.
Oh, I'll definitely see it.
I'll definitely
see it.
You'll see it. I know.
Well, Kind of have to. It's,
So, but since they pulled the pictures, I don't have any to show you guys. We can't show you any, so that sucks. But
although we have them,
but I can't post them.
you can't see them.
It's something to look forward to. They announced that they renewed the rights to keep doing Freddy figures as well as Jason figures, and I think they're also still got the rights to do Michael Myers. So if you're fans of all those horror icons,
I also think Leatherface. Don't they do Leatherface also?
I think they have done. Yeah. So there should be plenty of horror figures in this next coming year for the fans of those. And then my favorite thing that NECA does is actually the video game based stuff, the player select figures. And they've already released the preview figures right here of the BioShock 2 stuff, the Big Daddy. They actually just announced that they're doing an entire toy line of BioShock. So it's not just like, a lot of times NECA does the one-shot deal where they just have the player select line and they do a character from the game. But they're going to kind of do like they've done with Gears of War with BioShock. So there's supposed to be a whole line of BioShock figures.
So you're a fan of when they take a video game character and make a toy out of it.
Absolutely.
You know that would make actually a great feature for a video series.
It would.
You should probably look into doing something.
It would.
Like that.
I could call it From Pixels to Plastic.
No, that's stupid.
That is a dumb name.
Yeah,
okay.
That doesn't work at all.
So anyway, one of the ones I was really excited about is that they announced they're doing some figures from Assassin's Creed 2. I really enjoyed the Altair figure from the first Assassin's Creed, and I'm a big fan of those games, so that's something to look forward to.
Are they going to do a figure of the guy who's actually getting beaten up in modern time, just kind of like sitting in the chair passed out? Or
that would be
whatever.
Ridiculous.
That would be an awesome... I'd buy that figure. I'd buy like 3 of them. There's my army builder, a guy who's asleep in the torture chair.
The guy sitting in the chair, the Anubis.
Yes.
I think that's what it's called, the Anubis. That's awesome. So yeah, lots of great news from NECA. If you guys are fans of those, that company, it's definitely a lot of good stuff to look forward to. They haven't released a whole lot of images yet. It's mostly just all stuff they've announced. I think they're holding off until Toy Fair in February before they actually show all this stuff.
Those jerks.
Yeah, because Toy Fair is coming up real quick here in the next 2 months. So I have a feeling toy news is going to slow down a little bit as all the companies are starting to build up to show everything off at that show. So, but there you go. If you guys are fans of NECA, that's some good stuff to look forward to. And of course, if you check out the toy news sites on the internet, do some Google searches, I'm sure you can find the information. So, all right, moving right along, let's get to the part of the show that everybody really wants to see, which is the video
where I dance.
Where dirt dances.
That's not.
No, I don't think that's actually the part. I'm actually talking about Devall's video review of Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. So let's dive right in and take a look.
Zen the Intergalactic Ninja was created in 1987 by Steve Stern and Dan Cote, and initially published under their Zen Comics imprint. What followed was the rise of a character which became a popular cult favorite inside the comic book community at a time when comic books were becoming more mainstream. In the early 90s, Zen was licensed to Archie Comics, and the comic company introduced the Intergalactic Ninja to a new group of fans. It also introduced the recycled heroes, effectively giving any toy company a free ride to pick up the characters and do what would only seem like a natural fit then in the 90s. Toys. Toy company Just Toys took the bait, and in 1992 at Toy Fair, they introduced their all-new toy line onto the world based on Stern and Cote's creation. Now the hopes were that Zen would take off like another once little-known indie comic book creation. Maybe you've heard of them. I think it's something involving turtles. The unfortunate thing was it didn't. With no cartoon to back it up like the turtles, it just didn't take off. And while comic books were getting easier and easier to find in your average stores, the Archie series wasn't a huge hit, and the Just Toys line of figures were passed over by most kids because they just didn't know the characters. The toy line from Just Toys consisted of just 6 figures, which were Zen the Intergalactic Ninja, Jeremy Baker, Canet, and Lights Out. And they made up the hero side of the line, while the villains were represented by Garbage Man, and Lord Contaminus. 6 figures in all. According to the back of the packages for the toys, there was a 7th figure dog-looking character called Smog. Now, there were two vehicles shown at Toy Fair, one for the good guys and one for the bad guys. The Hypership, which was Zen's mode of transportation in the short-lived comic book, and the Contaminator, which was designed to be Lord Contaminus' vehicle of choice. Unfortunately, the vehicles never appeared on shelves, or if they did in fact appear, they didn't stick around long during the initial release. Now, I did a lot of research on the line, and I couldn't find any other evidence that they did in fact get a release. Now, the packaging for the line featured a great drawing of Zen on the front, which was superimposed over a rather uninteresting painting of the Earth and the galaxy. Now, the back of the packaging featured all hand-drawn panels, which included a 7-panel origin comic, a checklist of the characters, the weapons and accessories the figure inside included, as well as showing off its action feature. Now, the figures came packaged with a special collector's edition of the first Archie comic issue, and to be honest, it wasn't great. I mean, the art and story just don't seem to work well. I mean, okay, look, I'm not the comic book expert here. You know what? Let's find out what Dirt thinks.
Oh, wow! This is like the best comic I've ever read in my entire life! Well, I want to marry this comic! I want to have babies with this comic!
Huh. Well, that wasn't what I thought he was going to say about it. Well, now we're going to get a look at 5 of the 6 figures, and unfortunately, the only figure I was never able to obtain was Lord Contaminus. Now, Zen is the only figure in the line that actually might get fans of the character excited. Zen is the best-looking figure out of the line, and featured a kicking feature with the press of a button on his back. He also came with a launching platform that allowed you to basically fire Zen like a missile at the other figures. Jeremy Baker featured a removable backpack that could light up the geocrystals the good guy figures were packaged with. And nothing else, really. Jeremy didn't do a whole lot else. Now, Canik was a creature made out of recycled cans and featured an amazing action feature. He clicked. No, that's right. With the press of a button on his back, he clicked. Now, the package for him says he squeaks. That sound you make ain't no squeak. It's a click. See what I mean by awesome? Lights Out was an interesting figure in design. Not so much in execution, though, really. He was bulky because of the action feature built into his upper body. With the press of a button on his waist, his head would light up. And that's about it. And last but not least is Garbage Man. Now, the figure's designed very much to resemble his namesake and really does look like a walking pile of garbage. His action feature allows you to attach multiple pieces of trash around his upper body, and when you press a button on his belt, the pieces of garbage explode off of his body. Now, to be honest, I may come off sounding a bit overcritical of the design of this line, but I have to be honest with you, it's not a great line, and not even from 1991. And it's sad that this line didn't turn out well, because the character of Zen is a really cool and very endearing character. I mean, even today, the character lives on. The comic book icon returned to comic shops thanks to comic publisher DEP, while Shocker Toys is planning an all-new figure based on the character. And even though the initial toy line from Just Toys wasn't great, it still does have its fans, and is a unique piece of history of the action figure aisles in the 90s.
Welcome to the Empty Box Collectors Club, where we just collect empty boxes.
Those are my favorite.
And we don't like toys. We just want the packaging. And especially, I like them when they turn yellow.
Like of old age.
Like my favorite
like the
Jell-O.
Blizzard turns yellow. Like your favorite Jell-O. Well, Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Dirt and I are going to go ahead and take a closer look at the Zen figures, which personally I never actually had any of these. I remember seeing them in the stores years and years ago.
So there was a toy line of action figures that you did not purchase.
This is true. Wow. This is true.
How does this happen?
I don't know.
Man. They just get you on the wrong allowance weekend?
That was probably
or
it. Or I was way too busy going, ooh, X-Men or something like that, yeah. So.
Or Turtles.
Or Turtles. Yeah. Or Turtles. But speaking of Turtles, these are obviously very similar in style, I'd say, style and design. Came out around the same time, right?
Well, you can definitely tell, I think some of these characters look like could have been from the Turtles line.
Right.
Like if you were at a thrift store and you saw this loose figure, you'd be like, oh, I don't remember which turtle guy that was.
It'd be a Ninja Turtle, well, especially some like these bigger guys.
Oh,
like,
yeah, and then this guy.
Trash Man here, whatever.
With his,
he even kind of reminds me of Muckman.
A little bit. A little.
Yeah.
Might be the parallel universe world of them. Alternate world. This is the Marvel Comics version, whereas Muckman is the DC Comics version. But, yeah, now Zen, they all came with this comic that, as we know, is one of the best comics ever created. And, but this was from the Archie Comics line. Now, there was an original black and white series on the indie scene of Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. And made a little bit of a splash, not a whole lot of impact, but then Archie Comics picked up the rights to do their kid-friendly version, same way they did with the Turtles. So you had that idea of you've got the the comic and the colorful toys. They were trying to tap into that, but as Devall said, Zen didn't have a cartoon show, so he just loses out in the long run. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you were pointing out all of these come with an issue of the comic.
Yep.
But it's the same comic.
It is. It's the same one on every toy. So, I mean, it's a cool addition, but, I mean, you're going to...
This Archie miniseries was 3 issues. And so they reprinted the first issue. We've got, between all these different boxes, we've got 5 copies of the reprint of issue 1. What happens if you want to follow the story?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm sure the story of Zen is so good. You want to find out what happens to the recycling robots and whatever.
It's kind of neat how they package it, though, because there's just like this little plastic sleeve on the back of all the packages where the comic slides out of, and then you've got your actual card back underneath that, which, crazy enough, even has more comic strip on the back of the package.
Which makes me think this was a late edition.
Yeah.
Like, originally, I'm sure they weren't planning on doing that because they figured it'd be hot enough on its own, but then someone said, you know what? They don't have the cartoon show.
That's some cool
so we got to get people's
material.
attention, let them know what the heck's going on, so they added the comic pack-in. Because there's nothing on this artwork.
Oh, yeah.
That says that there was going to be a comic blocking it. And in fact, there's just a sticker on the front that announces the fact that the comic is on the back.
Which is probably definitely a later edition.
Yeah, so they probably at the last minute said, you know what, we better print a whole ton of these. So, but there you go.
There's a little history lesson on the comic of Zen, which is cool because I didn't know a whole lot about this guy. Like I said,
and Zen actually came back. Like I think it was last year. They reprinted a new issue of Zen. Mm-hmm. Just randomly kind of picked it up, did another. I think it was black and white, maybe in color. I don't remember, but yeah. So he kind of comes back every now and again. Interesting character. I think it's an interesting design. Looks like one of those classic. Abducting space aliens.
Yeah, definitely very alien-like. I have always liked his design in the books. I never really thought it translated well into this figure. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know. These figures aren't exactly stellar looking.
I think his body needs to be more buff.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the problem is that he's supposed to be this ninja, and in the comic he looks like a pro wrestler. Much more stronger body type, and here he's like a 12-year-old boy who likes to jog. You know, he doesn't have that buff look to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, the proportions do seem a little off.
Like this should be about the size of Zen. Big buff.
Much bigger.
Fighting dude.
You know, this guy's cool. I like this guy. I was looking at him earlier.
Because he's got trash on him?
He's just like got trash all over him. Yeah, like he's even got. Like,
I think his name is Garbage Man.
Yeah,
I think that's his actual name.
He's just a walking pile of trash, but he's got like the little removable plastic soda can.
Reminded me of the old lady trash heap on Fraggle Rock. Did you ever see Fraggle Rock?
Oh yeah, totally.
I am the all-knowing trash heap. You know, that kind of thing. But
excellent. That's a great one. And like some of these character designs are actually really cool. This little robot guy is pretty sweet too. What's his name? I'm sorry, I don't know all the names. I'm really bad.
Look on the back.
This.
It has all the pictures on the back.
Lights Out. No, this is.
See,
yeah, this
I would
is
look
Lights
on.
Out.
I would look on this one, but the comic is blocking the names of the characters. that might be another problem.
Might be.
Because if you were a kid and you're like, oh, I want that other character, the can't read it.
Can't read it. There's
No
a comic
idea.
on the back.
Mom, I want you to get me something.
And just like a lot of the figures at the time, they do seem to be littered with some little action features and stuff like that. Like I know that Zen's got the little the kick action. You push a little button on his back, boom, he's got the little ninja kick. It's not a very fierce looking kick. It's kind of a slow-mo little guy, but it's got the kick.
And they're also supposed to light up.
Lights Out's got the light up feature.
We don't have batteries for some of these here, but
yeah, well, and that's another interesting note. They take AAA batteries. There's not a lot of action figures that actually have like this big battery canister on it where you can pop in an actual AAA battery. Most figures that had light up feature stuff like that just had the built-in
like a
little
watch
button
battery
cells.
or something.
Yeah,
small
yeah.
like
So that's
yeah.
definitely an interesting note on these. It's not something you really ever see.
I like how they come with rock candy.
Those are geostones, dude.
I like to call it rock candy because I'm a fat guy, and
Well, and then this is one of my favorites. Zen's got this cool little sled, this jet sled thing that actually launches him. Kind of makes him like Zen the human missile. Ready?
woo!
Oh, it's no good.
Too short. Now I think it's interesting how they put articulation in the wrists, so that you've got that extra joint there. You've got that pin joint where everything can spin around. Yet the legs, no knee. There's no articulation of the knee. There's nothing at the ankle. It's like they thought, oh, well, we really got to make sure you can do something with those arms, but don't ever try to sit them down, because that would just be silly.
That's actually that is another one of those things though that's very reminiscent of toys at the time, like the Ninja Turtles. They were the same way.
Yeah.
They all had the wrist articulation, but nothing in the legs whatsoever, and they all had those terrible stances where they were hard to stand up. I like how this guy's got a pop can on him. That's very, very much like just a Pepsi can.
Yeah, well, but not. It's pop.
And a can of pork and beans. I don't know. That's good stuff.
Now, but the designs are certainly interesting enough. I mean, they're colorful. They definitely put some thought into, how are we going to make them stand out a little bit. Like I said, they look kind of like Turtles figures, but they not enough that you're confusing them with a Turtles character.
Right.
They do look original,
They
which is nice.
very, very much fit in with a lot of the toy lines we saw during this era. I mean, it's just one of those things. You notice a trend. I mean, you get a line that's as successful as the Ninja Turtles, and you're going to have all those lines that follow suit, that go with the same style, the bright colors, everything like that. And, we've talked about other lines before. I mean, we've mentioned how these also kind of remind us of, like, Toxic Crusaders and stuff like that. I mean, it was very common, you got to go with what sells. I mean, and I mean, to be honest, these are actually pretty cool looking toys. I could definitely see myself playing with these as a kid. And I would probably do, like you said, I would probably use these with my Ninja Turtles characters.
Right.
I would definitely mesh these together with other characters of the more popular lines that I did collect. It also it's a great little obscure toy line. For all those out there that like to hunt down the cool little obscure toy lines, it's not a very big line. It only lasted for 6 figures. I don't think the vehicles ever made it to the stores. There's even some characters on the back.
There's a 7th figure, Smogger.
It never made it.
Never came out. So.
Yep. So, I mean, we've got 5 of the 6 here, and that's the entire line. So, I think they're fairly easy to track down. They're not too expensive, and they're actually pretty decent toys. If you're looking for something different or, obscure to add to your toy collection, this might be a cool line for you guys to hunt down and check out.
Now, also, the comic, even though it's from Archie, a lot of the people who worked on it were guys who were mainstays at Marvel and DC, guys like Ross Andrew, Mike Esposito. So, I mean, these were guys who did a lot of comics in the 80s and 90s. I think they worked on G.I. Joe quite a bit, too. So, it's not like you're going to open this up and it's like the bad crayon drawings you see in some of these comics where you're just like, holy crap, how did that get made into a comic? These actually, they look nice. The characters are well done. It's a colorful book, so it is pretty nice, even though the story is all about recycling and helping the Earth.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Save the Earth. It's like a weak Captain Planet with an alien ninja. It's kind of hitting too many targets, trying to hit some sort of demographic.
Right,
out there, but,
right. Cool. All right. So I think that does it. I mean, there you go, guys. Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. If it's a toy line you've never heard of before, hopefully we gave you guys a pretty good look at it. And again, I mean, it's a pretty cool little toy line. It's obscure. I know I'm one of those guys that likes to hunt down the obscure stuff. It's a fun thing to do for me. So
and they're only $1.99 at Toys R Us. That's their new lower price on clearance.
The new lower price. Okay,
although
Toys R Us.
You can find a dealer who sells them for $1, because apparently that's his cost on those.
Excellent. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to our fan corner for the week. We've actually had several people send in some more questions for us to be answered, which is always appreciated. I love it when you guys send in questions for us. So we're going to go through some of those questions and see what we got here.
Nothing too personal.
Nothing too personal. All right, this is a good one. Our friend Jobber from the forums asks, I know as a kid I used to trade toys with my friends. Did any of you do this, and did you score anything really cool?
Somehow, I don't even remember how it happened, but somehow in 81 or 82,
wow,
I traded something to a friend of mine. I don't even know what, and I ended up with like 40 Star Wars figures.
Wow!
And I had like all, just like in a big cardboard box. Like I may have traded my Atari 2600 or something like that.
Just for a whole bunch.
For a whole bunch of Star Wars
nice.
figures. And oddly enough, we took them outside to play with them in the middle of the street, and it had rained, and so we built like these mud forts in the middle of the street. The only problem is our street was a bus route.
Oh no!
And so I remember I went inside for snacks, and I came back and just obliterated.
Oh man!
So I don't think any of them survived. I think my mom just chucked them all out after that because they were all muddy and gross.
Wow!
And everything. But
I actually did the trading thing too. I can actually remember some specific times because I know that. I know one thing I got in a trade from friends is I think I traded a He-Man figure that I had duplicates of to get a Secret Wars Iron Man, which I still have to this day.
Nice.
It's the only Secret Wars figure that I own, but I totally traded with a friend at school for that Iron Man.
Nice.
Other things I used to trade all the time were G.I. Joes. Me and my buddy who also collected G.I. Joes constantly just traded those things back and forth.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's just how I got a lot of the ones I want. I mean, we would constantly just go through our stacks, and I'd go, this is cool, I'll give you this for him, and we just did it all the time.
Well, yeah,
really
especially
cool.
You got aunts and uncles and grandparents
Right.
and whatnot, and you open stuff on 3 days before Christmas, and you're like, oh, I think I have this G.I. Joe guy. And then on Christmas, you open up all those, and you're like, oh, that's the same one that Grandma just got me that I think I already had.
Right.
It's like, thanks for the thought, but time to spread them out.
Spread them out, yeah. Perfect for trading. Get some stuff that you want. So cool. Yeah, that's a great question. It's something I totally forgot about until that.
Not anymore.
Oh no,
not anymore. Everything I own is mine. Stop asking.
I'm with dirt. I don't trade anymore unless sometimes I'll go buy extra stuff. But
can I buy that for? No.
All right. I don't know how into this you've ever been, but Vinto Man asks, have you ever managed to get a Chase figure in the store? Now, I don't know if any of the things you buy actually have the Chase figures or anything like that.
Yeah, well, Infinite Heroes has a couple that are variants.
True.
They do a lot of weird variants, like the question.
Mm-hmm.
They had the regular question, and then they repainted his shirt and tie and threw that in there, and then they put him in a trench coat, long trench coat, and threw that in there. And so you just find them by hunting through the pegs.
Right.
So it's just one of those like repaint variant things that they toss in there. They also did some of the revision waves in the 3-packs. They replaced the character. So you had Wonder Girl, Supergirl, and Superman, and then when they did the revision wave, they put Bizarro in there instead of Superman.
That's right. Okay.
So you had to buy another 3-pack. You had to find who had the revision waves to do that. So
see, now Chase figures, I've never really been like super fond of, especially because especially when they make a Chase figure that's like a really cool version of the main character and they short pack it and it's incredibly hard to find. That drives me crazy.
That's a pain.
Yeah. Because like I remember Marvel Legends was so bad about that. Like they made like the Phasing Vision, which is the one where he was all translucent.
Right.
And of course that's the version I really wanted, but he ended up being like the hardest to find and he was like $80 on eBay. But I did manage to find that one in stores. So I found that figure. There's a couple others from Marvel Legends. I remember when the 2002 He-Man figures were out, I found some of their Chase figures, but they were nothing more than minor paint variations. Like the belt was a different color.
The different logo on the battle armor chest or whatever.
Different logo on the He-Man. Like Mechanech had like clear visors and green visors. I mean, there was all this different stuff. So, Did you just see that hand?
No, didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Moving on, next
that's
question.
Crazy. Okay. All right. Well, the last one is: have you ever bought a figure for a friend or relative and they really appreciated it?
You and Devall.
That's
Scotty.
We buy toys for each other at Christmas time all the time.
We also buy random toys for each other for no reason. Like I'll be at CVS and see like the Mega Man and
here's
all
the time. Yeah, I mean that's one.
And
cool
you're like,
thing.
thanks, I've got 3, and I'm like, well now you have 4.
Yeah, we constantly call each other to find when we find certain things in the stores, and so yeah, definitely. I guess the answer to that question would be yes.
Here, let me put it to you this way: if you have a toy and you send it to me, I will be happy. Doesn't matter what the toy is. If I get a package in the mail and I open it and there's a toy, yay! I don't think there's anybody. I don't think I've ever given a toy to like you or Devall, and like Devall be like, "Oh, a toy?
Yeah,
damn it."
Yeah, no kidding. We like doing that. We like free stuff. So yeah, sweet. So anyway, as we were answering questions, Ace Duck popped up on the table. This is
you mean Howard the Duck?
No, this is Ace Duck.
Looks like Howard the Duck
from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Actually, if you've been to our site in the last 2 weeks, thatnewtoysmell.com, our buddy Swain Halleck, who does his weekly Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk, just reviewed this figure. Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk.
Say it again.
Radical. Oh no. He just reviewed Ace Duck. So if you guys want a really cool complete Ace Duck, guess where you can buy one?
eBay?
No.
Oh.
The correct answer is
Amazon.com.
No.
Toys R Us.
No. I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Oh.
KillinEnterprises.com. That's right, guys. We have a huge selection of vintage toys such as Ninja Turtles, lots of new stuff, video games, DVDs, CDs, you name it, we carry it.
We can even get you a copy of the Kentucky Headhunters, because I know you're a fan.
That's right. So guys, head on over to the official store of That New Toy Smell at www.killinenterprises.com. Then, of course, you can always head over to your domain, vglosers.com. If you guys are into podcasts, we got pro wrestling podcasts, we've got MMA podcasts, fantasy football podcasts. No.
We don't do any of that
We don't do any of that stuff anymore? What happened?
We just do fat chicks and party hats.
Fat chicks and party hats. You guys are into that? Head over to vglosers.com. And then, of course, we've got on thatnewtoysmell.com, we got daily updates, including figure reviews, columns about toys. We've got the It Figures podcast every Wednesday, and every Saturday, a brand new episode of That New Toy Smell.
What's that?
That is this show right here.
Oh my gosh!
The best toy show on the web. The interwebs. All right, guys. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of That New Toy Smell. So until next week, I'm Pixel Dan.
I'm not.
We'll see you guys later.
Toy Talk!